Welcome back to Trackside Live on this Wednesday. I'm Todd Trupp along with Simon Bray, and it's an exciting time of year in thoroughbred racing as we try to predict who's going to make it to the Kentucky Derby and then ultimately who's going to win the Kentucky Derby. And with each dominating win by any particular horse anywhere in the country, the groundswell support starts to build, and one such horse is Verrazano.
No question about that. Undefeated 2 for 2, broke his maiden very impressively on January the 1st. Should he get to the Derby, he's going to be another horse trying to buck that trend of not having raced as a 2-year-old. So, I mean, it was a very, very impressive maiden win and then came back with a nice allowance win.
The ownership group for Verrazano really races under the name Let's Go Racing, and one of the principals joins us now, Mr. Bryan Sullivan on the phone. Bryan, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Bryan, could you give us some background for our audience, how long Let's Go Racing has been around, and tell us a little bit more about the ownership group?
Sure. We've been around since 2006. We bought our first group of horses, and we've done about 13 syndicates or public offerings since that time. And, you know, what kind of separates us from everybody else is that we buy a group of horses, meaning that you're not just going to invest in one horse, you're going to invest in 3, 4, 5 horses spreading around your wrist. So that's kind of the main difference between us and some of our competitors is that, you know, it's a basket of horses, if you will, that you're going to be owning.
And obviously you're willing to go to a lot of different sales and buy all kinds of horses. How did you come about Verrazano?
You know, El Padrino, who we owned, who's his half-brother, had raced once at Saratoga and finished second. And it was about a month later, we were at Keeneland, September. And we kind of stumbled upon him. And you know, we look at a lot more than Ready just because Kevin, my partner's father, owned him. And, you know, we knew the family, thought El Padrino had some potential, and that's kind of where we hit on Verrazano.
And Kevin is the son of James Scartuccio, who owned More Than Ready, who's the sire of Verrazano. So I see how it all ties in, Bryan. When did you finally figure out that Verrazano had talent? You said you bought him at the sale. At what point did you realize he was potentially going to be a very, very good horse?
Well, J.J., Todd's father, breaks all our horses, and he said that it was probably a week after El Padrino had won the Risen Star last year. He told us that this horse, in his opinion, he thought was better than El Padrino. And, you know, it was early, and so we didn't want to get too excited. And he shipped into Todd's string at Saratoga this summer, and he had a few breezes, and we had some baby issues, but they liked him then. So we were always hopeful, but, you know, we never really got to get up to a half mile or 5/8, anything to really see what we truly had. So it was probably this past December where, you know, Todd had been relaying to us how well he's been doing in the morning, and Todd started to use some superlatives that he doesn't normally use, especially for a horse that was unraced. So, you know, Kevin and I looked at each other and we're kind of like, did Todd just say that about him? So we're just glad that he's kind of validated it with these next 2 races, and hopefully we can move forward this Saturday.
Bryan, having been on the Derby trail last year with El Padrino, you already kind of know what to expect, but how intoxicating is it to have a top 3-year-old prospect this time of year?
You know, it's overwhelming. I mean, I'm in the business to do this, so I kind of welcome it. You know, it's day by day, you know, hour by hour and things like that. So that, in that regard, it's stressful. But, you know, you wouldn't trade places with anybody, and we're just happy to be here for a second go-around. And you know, we're excited for this colt. We really think he's got the goods, and we just want to, you know, let him show everybody what he's all about. And, you know.
I was going to say, he's drawn post position 6 in this weekend's Tampa Bay Derby. The entries just came out. I mean, what are you looking for? I mean, I know you want to win, Bryan, but, I mean, his 2 wins have been so very easy. I mean, experience-wise, he hasn't probably got much out of those 2 races. He didn't race as a 2-year-old, so is there something that you're looking for outside of a victory, you know, to sit in behind horses, get dirt, go through traffic? Are you looking for some race experience as well as getting the win and securing those 50 points?
Yeah, being you know, as lightly raced as he is, you know, I guess we take any experience we can get, because the reality is that we're probably only going to get to run twice more if we get to the Derby, you know, being this race and then another prep shortly thereafter. So anything we can get out of the race will be beneficial. You know, he's a very, very athletic colt, light on his feet. He's very handy. So, you know, I don't think we're looking to give him education. That being said, I mean, Johnny says he'll be anywhere I'd put him, but he's not going to be far off it. You know, if he's on the lead, great. If he's just off it, that's fine as well. So I think 6 and 9 is perfect for us, and you know, Sunday we'll see what we got. Saturday.
What are your list of concerns going into the Tampa Bay Derby? Is it the 2 turns? Is it the demanding surface they have there in Oldsmar, Florida? What do you think are the biggest obstacles for Verrazano?
I would say it's probably the step up in company. I mean, there's 5 or 6 really nice horses in this race. Honorable Dylan, Purple Egg, Dynamic Sky, and a few others. So I think it'll be a class test. Todd's intimated to Kevin and I that 2 turns will not be an issue with this horse, just the way he's training. I mean, you never know when you get to the 1.25 mile distance, but distance should not be a problem. And so I would say that it's the class, it's the acid test. Let's see if he's as good as his 24 lengths, 2 wins combined, stepping up against this kind of company. So that would be it. And I think good horses, most good horses run over anything. So the track surface isn't a real concern to me. So my concern would be the company.
I got one quick question before you go. You picked out Verrazano very early as a 2-year-old. Any names or pedigrees we should be looking forward to next year? How are the 2-year-olds shaping up for you down in Florida right now?
They're pretty good. We're actually going to head down there on Friday and see 2 or 3 of them breeze. We have 2 tappets that Jake really, really likes. One out of a Christmas Star mare that's a half to Will He Shine, who was a really top sprinter probably 5 or 6 years ago. And we got a Broken Vow colt that's from the Interact T family, the Wertheimer family that Jake likes as well. So we got 3 colts. So, it's early, so they're all promising right now. But, at least it gives us something to look forward to in the future.
The life of helping run a partnership. We haven't even gotten to the Kentucky Derby this year, and already people are asking about next year. Bryan, thank you very much for talking with us about the ultra-talented Verrazano, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Okay, I appreciate you guys having me.
Bryan Sullivan, managing partner of Let's Go Stables. And look, Verrazano's at the top of my list, and he hasn't won a graded stakes race yet. But this will be a serious test because, as he pointed out, there's 5 or 6 really good horses in the Tampa Bay Derby.
That's right.